Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you for supporting my channel and being here. We're talking about narcissistic abuse. We're talking about spirituality as well as physical and emotional and energetic well-being and health, right? So that we can work with ourselves on a multidimensional way to rapidly recover from narcissistic abuse, reclaim our spiritual, emotional, financial, physical sovereignty, and go on and come and do on the planet what we were born to do, which was actually to experience a beautiful life, right? Yeah, there's going to be shadow work and stuff, but it doesn't mean we have to fight with demons, right? So I'm going to tell you a story. But before I do, I need you to know something. I work with the divine, right? I don't work with anything negative. I don't want to study dark magic. I don't know anything about people. Some people talk about spell work. I don't want to know about that, because I am, yes, a psychic channel, but I believe in, and I believe it's of God, of good, to only work in free will. Which means that if you comment on my post, right, or connect with me in any way, I do not invade your privacy, right, and try and read you or channel you in any way, unless you come into a private container with me and we're in a consensual situation, right? Because energy needs to be as consensual as any other act on this planet. Our psychic abilities, and I'm going to teach you how to improve your psychic abilities and channel if you want to, and I'll tell you why you might want to in a minute. But like, I believe in consent. It's a free will universe. I believe we disrespect divinity and each other and God if we interfere with people's free will using our psychic gifts. So I personally, if you don't agree with me, that's up to you. I'm sorry about it, but I'm not sorry about it. It's where I stand on this. Yeah, if you come into a session with me and you consent to me reading, I read. I will not read someone just because you're in my life. I will not read you just because you're commenting. It's your privacy, and that's to be honored. I do not invade people with my psychic channels, and I think that's probably why I'm so blessed, right? I have experienced high levels of psychic attack and dark energy pushed against me, and it was a world I didn't know about, and I still don't want to. I don't believe I need to know much about it to know that it's a dark energy, and working with the divine is more powerful. So I'll tell you a story. I moved to California, about 5 years ago, set up my own business, and I had some connections out here. Now, there was this one guy who's a healer, right? Healer. They work in the spiritual realm, using psychic powers for bad. Anyway, so he's a healer, and he wanted to connect with me, and I wasn't as educated. I wasn't as aware as I am now, right? So I was connecting with him on Facebook, and he wanted to get me to this other place, because I was talking about I like to travel and see more of the country. He was trying to get me to go to, I won't say where, but it's a perfectly fine place. And I was quite interested in it. But then I just felt something was very off, and I shut it down. He'd actually caught me at, there was actually another narcissistic attack happening in my life as well, bullying me in my community. So at a kind of weak point, there is a consciousness running through them. They know who to target, and they know when you're under attack. And they send in the heavyweights if you're a strong light worker, right? They're ranked. These demons are ranked. Some of, anyway, don't be scared. This is why, I'm trusting what I'm being told to share, but this is not to create fear. This is to create power. I want you to know you're so much more powerful, even if you don't feel like it, right? So he's trying to get me to meet with him. He wants me to connect. He won't let it go. And I was just like, look, I've got a lot going on right now. It doesn't feel good timing. It doesn't feel right for me. And I shut it down. A few months later, there was a colleague I had that I'd kind of met before I'd moved out here, very well known in the community, well, his community, wealthy guy, wanted me to work with him on, I help people, socially conscious leaders, create businesses around their purpose and truth, right? I've helped people come into their soul alignment in different ways through different avenues in my life, right? So he wanted me to help him with his brand, which I didn't know at the time he was a narcissist, but he was. What he really wanted me to, so I went to see him, and he had a big house that he was hardly in, and he was like, because I was about to move apartments, why don't you stay here? We've got room, and it would give us time to actually work together, right? Obviously, I ended up working with him for the next 3 months. He didn't pay me a penny, and sucked a life force. He also, things, they steal. I shared like my first business name with him, and I was going to use that name again out here. Well, he boldly comes in 2 days later to tell me he trademarked it because he had a lot of money, you know what I mean? And he stole a concept from me that was from my heart, that was mine, as well as many other things, many other disgusting things. But during this time I stayed there, which luckily was only 3 months in the end because I got out. This other guy, let's call him D. His name began with a D, and he was definitely a king demon. So this D that had been trying to get me to go to this other location to meet him, travel, see America, whatever, knows, let's call him, what should we call him? D2, the guy I'm working with and staying with, from what other work they've done together. I didn't even know this connection was strong, and D, the big demon, decides to actually want to come and stay with D2, the guy I'm living with. Apparently he'd never stayed in his house before I got there. This is how big the target is, right? But I didn't know about this then. This guy starts staying in our house for 2 weeks, right? During this time, I go through the most weird feelings ever. I start having suicidal thoughts. My technology's not working. I start losing my mind. I'm under a really high level of psychic attack. One day he left his bedroom door open and I saw all kind of like voodoo dolls on his bed. He was doing dark magic, which I don't want to know about. I don't need to know about because my divine channel is way stronger than it. But it was shocking to me at the time. He was literally casting spells. It got to the point during that 2 weeks that I couldn't get out of bed. I was that fatigued. That was how big this psychic attack was. This is not what's going to happen to you. You are divinely protected. But I just want you to know, like, what happened, I think it's okay to say. I'm not here to scare you. I'm just here to make you aware that there's so much going on in the psychic and energetic realms, right? Now that can't happen to me. I see it straight away, and I'm going to teach you how to push it out. And the tools. And to know yourself as a channel, as someone who can channel energy. Every single one of us can. I'm not here to tell you how great a channel I am. I'm here to activate your own healing, your own channel, and your actual gifts beyond just being attacked by these demons that are way stronger than them. You've got more strength in your pinky finger psychically and energetically than they have. Way more, because we're channeling divine energy, love energy, creation force. Love is the strongest energy on the planet. We call it love making when we create life, because love is creation. This is destruction, these entities. Anyway, so I get very passionate. So I'm starting to lift the psychic spell. I'm realizing I'm under an energetic attack. I knew very little about it at the time. I've never been in those communities. I don't mess with them. I'm not part of that. I'm my own channel. I'm my own life. I stick with my guidance. I don't get involved in any labels or communities or anything. I don't let anyone tell me what my relationship with God is or what it means to be spiritual. I trust my guidance. I've always have, right? I'm not doing spells or using my powers in any way that doesn't feel completely clean and guided to me. I'm getting very sick and I'm starting to lift it. I'm starting to realize what's going on, especially when I see these voodoo dolls, which at the time did scare the shit out of me because I just didn't understand this. And anyway, I start getting my power back. I start recovering, not having realizing these thoughts weren't mine, just energy working on my technology, clearing things up. And it's the time that he has to go. I told the guy, D2, that this man needs to leave the house because there was some other things that happened. And of course, as the empath, when I first met him, even though he was being strange, he did some very strange things to me. I was making him dinners and being such a sweet little angel. Goodness me, was I nurturing the wrong thing. Anyway, so it's the day for him to leave. He takes it. I'm in my room. I was pretty scared of this guy at the time, right? So I've got my door shut. I actually had something address it against the door. He had such bad intentions towards me, right? So I'm kind of hiding out. The dressers against the door. This mother is going to leave the house. I'm counting down the time. I know what he's done to me. Right? And I knew I was under something I didn't understand energetically, but I knew it. And it's hard, isn't it? Because, like, of course, if you say it, they're going to try and make you look like you're nuts. I knew it. He actually said one evening when I made him dinner that he was a dark wizard or something. A powerless little creep. Anyway, when you know what you're doing with them. So he says goodbye. I shout goodbye back, thinking he's going to leave. I hear the front door shut. He's taken his stuff to the car, but he hasn't left. He comes back in the front door and goes out again. This happens 3 times. Then I hear the back door go. It's a big house. He comes in and out the back door another 2 or 3 times. This man wanted a confrontation. I could feel it in every cell of my being. I don't know what he was trying to do, but he needed something. He wanted something from me. And I had a very strong message from the divine, because I had my dogs with me, which are everything. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to put me or them anywhere near this thing. So I was told to take the dresser out the door, to stand up straight in my power, to go down the front stairs, because this man wasn't going to leave. He was in and out the front door, in and out the back door. He wanted something. He was trying to do something else. He tried his voodoo. It hadn't worked. I honestly think, I know from what I was told, he wanted to finish the job. He'd come to destroy me. He had been trying to catch me for a while, and he was going to finish the job. Whatever powers he thought he had. So I'm at the bottom of the stairs. God said to me to bring the dogs with me. Oh my God, you know, like, go down to the bottom of the stairs. Do not be afraid. Take the dogs. My babies, you know, why am I putting them in danger with this thing? Go down to the bottom of the stairs, stand strong. Do not be afraid. Take the dogs. So I went down to the bottom of the stairs after being hiding in my room like a scared little girl, which I was, which was perfectly reasonable, right? And I've got my dogs. And I can feel he wants to make eye contact. And I had a very clear message from the divine: do not look in this man's eyes. I'm not saying they can do anything by looking in their eyes. This man he was a very high ranking demon. There's no doubt in my mind. He was spiritually ranked. I mean, demonly ranked, right? But I'm spiritually ranked. And so let's see what happens in the war, right? So I'm trusting God. I'm at the bottom of the stairs. I'm breathing. I've got my dogs. And God said to me very clearly, do not look in this man's eyes. And then it came through me, really. I channeled it, but I said, bye. And I pushed my hand out. This man was over 20 feet away from me. I swear he fell out the door. It was like nothing I've ever seen or knew I could ever do. And I wouldn't do this on purpose necessarily for any reason. I'm not some kind of karate kid, but I went, I could feel the divine. I could feel the channel, like my channel opened. I went, bye. Like that. There was so much energy from my hand. I know this might sound strange to you, but I don't think it will from what I'm showing, and I've been told to tell you the truth. So the man fell backwards out the door, not injured, backwards. My energy from over 20 feet away, not looking in this man's face, bye. I channeled it. The man fell out the door. I looked around, he fell backwards. He fell backwards, got in his car, scampered off like the silly little boy playing with dolls that he was, right? There is more energy in your pinky finger than they've got in their entire being when you know how to channel and stand in your truth. Any psychic attack against you, you're more powerful than. That was the most interesting experience, one of them. I mean, I've had hundreds, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've had a lot of experiences in my life, but this one was unreal to me, surreal, out of this world, because I was channeling the divine out of this world. Whatever tricks he's got, dark magic, I don't need to know about. What I need to know is divinely guided, supported in my power. Just putting my hand out in the universe is enough to put the demon on its feet, almost on its back. You've got more power than you know. You've just got to understand that you have, as much as they can infiltrate your psychic field, you can push it away. But can you feel my conviction? I work energetically like this, right? I fight energetically like this. Not that I'm in a fight all the time. They can't touch me now. I'm too clean and strong in my field. And if I see it, it's not that they won't necessarily try. They think that they're powerful, but there's nothing I can't push out of my field, right? Which is why I'm now ready to do this work in a bigger way in the world. Because if they come at me, they can't infiltrate. So what I want you to know, there's an exercise in the CPTSD and psychic attack video I think I posted yesterday. This comes from Kundalini Yoga, which is no. You cut it out your life. Like, just cutting cords doesn't work really, because we tend to re-engage the cord when we think about them again. So cords they're energetic threads, but cutting cords might work for you, but often it doesn't because it just gets reattached. Cuts the energy. No. With your full force, divine energy coming through you. When I do that, I can feel energy in my hands. You can too. Anyone on this planet can learn anything. They can learn Reiki. They can learn to channel. You have more superpowers than you know. I hope I'm not speaking too fast. No. No, trust me, use your energy, use your body. You can't fight this on just the 3D plane. So we're going to have to be tooled, right, with our spiritual, I don't say weapons, but it's kind of like that, our spiritual tools in order to win this game. And they have no power. The planet is here to change. I believe the divine's calling time on this right now. And I believe it's about us waking up, us understanding our multidimensional nature. Do this in your room. Why do you think in certain cultures, when they do, I think it's jiu-jitsu and tai chi and stuff, they're using body, they're using energy, they're using breath. You have so much power, even in your pinky finger, compared to these demons. They need to just hang out in their own world, in their own realm, and stay away from ours, right? This is how it works. This is what we do. No. Out. No. You might want to do that in your room. It works. Move your body, move your energy, get yourself in action. That moment of my life was God showing me the truth. That moment in my life, I was a scared little girl with a dresser on the door with my 2 babies who I love more than anything in the world. You know what I mean? These are like my angels, my kids, my love. That I've had no one in this planet at certain points. I've had them, and they are my blessing. And oh my gosh, did I need faith? Did I need faith to put them down the stairs when I could feel this malignant, malicious, and I didn't know what it was? You know, I don't play in these games. I don't join the spiritual community's discussions on demons because I don't need to. I'm here to activate the light. I don't need to know what rubbish they do. God told me to take my children, my little kids, you know, my babies, my fur babies. Most important thing in my life. And I could feel the energy. This is a man that had me in bed for 2 weeks when I didn't understand what was going on. You know, and my technology wouldn't work, so I couldn't connect to anyone on the outside at certain points during this. The guy I lived with was on his side, you know, literally. I was saying what's happening. This guy made the D2 was making me feel like a complete idiot and enjoying the fact that I was losing my mind, and that he could siphon my work from me, siphon my intelligence, siphon my product, my creativity. Well, guess what? Who won that war? Right? Not because I knew what I was doing, not because I wasn't scared, because I trusted my channel, I trusted the divine. They have no power over you. They have nothing on you. It's only you not knowing how powerful you are is the only reason they exist. There's nothing I can heal that you can't heal. There's nothing I can channel that you can't channel. I'm just channeling your healing in you. I'm just helping being that source for you to activate you. I might show you my fur babies on this channel because I care about them so much. But like, there's nothing. There's nothing. There's no mud on you if you've seen those videos, and there's nothing they can do to you when you own your psychic power. We're just not taught this stuff, right? We're not taught emotional intelligence, which we need to know. We're not taught psychic intelligence, which we need to know. And we're not taught our true spiritual nature, which we need to know. I love you, and I'll speak to you soon.